It's Smart Manufacturing Week, day one. I'm on the Manufacturing Media Studio and I'm joined by Alex Lees from British American Tobacco.
Hi.
Welcome.
Thanks for having us.
Thanks for being here. We're talking all things data. Obviously, it occupies a lot of the conversations around manufacturing right now. In particular, a key talking point is data governance. So, can you sort of define what good data governance looks like at BAT, and so what metrics do you use to measure success for that?
Yeah, so we use a form of traditional KPIs, so our data quality reports, where every member of our business has access to these, so they can measure their own data quality and feed it into like the leadership teams and things. We also have our sort of CI elements where we look at improving the actual quality within those data sets. So not just looking at like completeness rules, but looking at the actual quality of that data within there. And lots of other various tools that we're deploying at the moment with AI, sort of self-healing data models and things like that. So,
okay.
And lots of things.
Yeah. And what would you say the biggest governance challenges for a global organisation like BAT, particularly across markets that have got different cultures, different maturity levels, different regulations, etc., etc.
Yeah, so I think you kind of hit the nail on the head there with that one. We're such a big company and we have so many different cultures, regional barriers, people working across borders, etc. And we find that our data maturity within certain areas is like varying. So what we're doing at the moment is we're undertaking a really big upskilling of our workforce, especially within our factories at the moment. So I've been working quite heavily the last 3 years, bringing all the factories up to the same base level of data maturity, making sure that all our data sets are aligned. We're measuring the same rules for each sort of data set across the factories. So we have one source of truth for the organisation as far as manufacturing is concerned.
Okay, and a lot of manufacturers that we speak to with regards to data are talking about, sheer volume of data. How has the volume and use of data changed at BAT across the last couple of years, and what challenges has that thrown up?
We're always increasing our data sets. So when new technology comes into a factory, there's obviously a new set of characteristics or something that we'll need to maintain against that. So we've got the visibility of what that machine is doing within a factory. Also, various end markets will have challenges. Different legislations come in where we need to actually track the data as adhering to those legislations. Lots and lots more increased data sets essentially.
Yeah, indeed.
And obviously upskilling everyone so we can manage that workload.
Sure, yeah. And I guess another thing we talk about is ownership, I guess. So, in terms of accountability, who is ultimately responsible for data at BAT? Who owns that? Who owns the critical business data?
What we've done is we've identified our CDEs, so our critical data elements. We have clear owners and maintainers, all mapped out within global processes, TLDs, and our global standards. So we know precisely within our business who's the owner, who's the maintainer, and where that sits within the business. So when we come to spotting issues within that, we know who to go to straight away to get that corrected. So, very clear governance around it. It's all backed up by global standards and teams managing that essentially. So, like my team, the data governance leads, anything new that's coming into the business, the way we need to create new things, it will go for our team to actually put the governance frameworks around that. So, TLDs, elation articles, everything to sort of back up that new data set.
I see. And I guess another talking point is around data quality. What does data quality management look like at BAT, and are there any particular technologies and processes that you've introduced that have made a real impact in that regard?
So at the moment, obviously we were very much a traditional sort of measuring compliance to certain rule sets. What we're doing now is we're actually deploying AI tools within our system to not just measure the quality of the data, but actually measure it quality as in, is that the correct parameter maintained, not just something that's passing a rule. We're also working on process improvements within our material supply teams around like our ESG reporting. So we're actually now going out to the suppliers before the SKU creation to get like weights, dimensions, and stuff that will feed into our scope 3 reporting. And as I said, trying to do everything smarter, using AI to do the heavy lifting, essentially.
Yeah.
Okay.
And you mentioned AI there. How does that how does the use and deployment of AI kind of feed into the broader data governance framework, particularly from the perspective of responsible use of AI and AI you can trust?
Yeah, so we're not deploying pretty AI. Everything's got to serve its purpose within the organisation. It goes through a clear governance process as well to be deployed. So it's not just signed off by the data teams, it's signed off by various different departments as well within BAT, and it needs to be fit for purpose, and we need to have a clear business case backing it up. Why it's actually going to be suitable moving forward for the business as well.
Okay.
So, yeah.
And you mentioned skills earlier, data skills as well. I mean, how is your workforce changing to adapt to an increasingly data-driven business?
Yeah, so like I said, we are upskilling every sort of member of the workforce. So that will go from our line leads in factories all the way up to factory managers, and then to the leadership team. So everyone has to do a set amount of trainings. We have this backed up by focus groups. We have cross-functional focus groups where we share best practices as well within the departments, and then maybe deploy that across another one. And then we have lead SMEs and SPOCs, which are sat within the geographical locations, and they are sort of like the oracle of the data essentially. So they're the ones that are then helping with the trainings, deploying these new platforms, etc., within our teams.
Okay, and just looking forward to the next 2 or 3 years, what in terms of data governance, what are the challenges that are likely to get thrown up, and likewise what are the opportunities as well?
Yeah, I mean, within BAT, everyone always sees it as a tobacco company. I've always said the data is the backbone of our company. So without good data, we're not going to be able to produce our products and get it to the consumer. So we have more and more emphasis now on upskilling, training people, deploying these new tools, new planning systems. We're migrating planning systems soon as well to more fit for purpose one, because our legacy system's now coming to its end of life. Just knowledge sharing, different teams areas as well globally. So we have with our factories, we have a plant maintenance, which is the module we use in SAP, where we have people sharing best practices, process improvement ideas, and everything. So we're collecting all this geographical information from all our facilities, and then we're sort of hand-picking what would fit best within the industry and then deploying this. So it's a really collaborative place to work at the moment. Lots of knowledge sharing, cross-functional teams working together on projects. Yeah, so we're not a tobacco company as such anymore. We're more into digital, and that is driving our products as well. And obviously moving towards what BAT calls its better tomorrow.
Fantastic. And just more broadly, about the show, what's brought you along this week, and what are you hoping to get out of the next couple of days?
I've recently moved into the data governance role. I was in manufacturing.
Oh, right, okay.
So I was the asset manager.
You've jumped the fence.
Yeah, so I've kind of got an invested interest in both sides here today. It's just unlocking, knowledge sharing, see what other companies are doing that maybe we're slow to adopt, or vice versa, so just to pick up some knowledge, obviously see some of the manufacturers that we used to work with as well, and just pick up sort of some tidbits that we can take forward as well and use within our organisation. So we're doing quite a few roundtables with different people within different industries. So it might be that someone else is doing something a lot better than us.
Yeah.
And we can pick that up. So.
And just on that, how important are events like this, do you think, for giving up manufacturers the opportunity to sort of come together, share ideas,
massive.
collaborate?
Massive. I think it's really good. It's to get everyone in one roof. You just look, everyone seems excited, energised to be here. Just share some knowledge as well. Because it might be that one industry is doing something a lot better than other people,
absolutely.
and we can deploy it somewhere else. So no, it's a really good show.
Fantastic. Thanks for joining us, Alex. Appreciate you taking the time.
No, brilliant. Thanks for having us.